Hey, so welcome to my workshop. So today I have a door we reclaimed from a job site. It's a 36-inch exterior entry door, and we want to use it on the inside of our house on a kind of an office room we have. Right now it's an opening about 5 feet wide. So what I'm going to do is bring a door into one side, close off the other side, drywall it, finish it off to match the rest of the wall. And we do have to kind of do some trimming on this door, cleaning up, because like I said, we're going to repurpose it from a job site. So I hope you find this really exciting, and I'm excited to do it, so let's get started. Okay, well, my hinges are actually going to be on the correct side, but since they're painted terribly white and they're older, I'm going to take them off and just replace them. You know, it's really interesting. This door just tells its a little story. I went to take these hinges off it, and I noticed that it was obvious that somebody had actually put these hinges in by hand. You could see all of the chisel marks, and it's not completely flush. Their edge is very fine and nice, so obviously somebody knew what they were doing. But I also noticed the rough cutness on this door here. It's not very smooth. In fact, it was probably cut and never sanded. It's just, you can see all of the saw marks from their blade when they cut this down. So either I'm not the first one to do this, or this is just a really old door. It's definitely, you know, a solid wood door. It's heavy. I brought it around the house and struggled a little. I think mainly because this glass is a pretty big piece of glass in it, but this is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting just being able to look at an old door and seeing how things were done. And maybe it was back in the day where you would buy the door and then buy your hinges and do the hinges yourself. You know, this is the only side I think you would have put your hinges on. But I don't see any other places where there could have maybe been a hinge that they took off, or maybe they trimmed off a piece to make it narrower. Who knows? This is 36 inches already. I don't know of anybody making a door wider than that for a home, but I thought that was really neat, really interesting. So I'm going to cut it down to 71.5, which puts me right here on this hinge. So we're going to have to relocate that hinge and probably the center hinge as well. All right, I'm going to try to get this door up here, span across my table saw and my workstation. Let's see. We're going to cut off this side. I want to hang it off that side. So let's try this. I say this door was heavy. Looks like we have some hardware blocking the. There we go. All right. Yeah, there's a old-time, really heavy deadbolt on the one side, which is really cool. Obviously there's two holes. I'm probably going to end up using just the one. This might end up just being too low, so what I do need to do is measure the length I have, which is going to be 71.25. So I've already measured that side. Alright, so I've got this very handy contraption here from Harbor Freight, just got from Christmas actually, and I've got to say I have really loved it when cutting down doors. Now it's important, you know, your common sense tells you you want to put this right on your line, but in actuality when you're cutting it with a circular saw, you've got to take into account the space difference between your line and the plate that's on your circular saw. If you watched my video previous about making trim, baseboard trim, you'll see the same technique I did there on a bigger scale. I couldn't use this clamp because obviously this is 5 feet long, my trim was 10. So the same concept I did there is what I'm going to do here. If you are really interested in wanting to get these, I think this is a lifesaver. You can head over to my Amazon store. I'll put this in the description there so you can go and check it out and get one. It's really, really nice. Alright, well, I've cleaned up all the stickers off of here. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take my palm sander with 80 grit sandpaper and just give it a good sanding. Looks like there's still a few things that I need to remove out of it, but we're going to go ahead and give it a nice sanding to mostly get most of this chip off. I'm going to end up painting it white, so I'm not too concerned about getting the red completely gone. Alright, well, we're into a little bit of a snag here. On this side here, somebody had, in their infinite wisdom, put something sticky here, probably double-sided tape, and they stuck a blind to it. So it is permanently sticky. I've tried scraping it, tried a few things. So the best solution I have is just to use some of this tough strip stuff, which I'll put it in my Amazon store, and you can check that out. It's really good stuff. We used it on our countertop to get rid of a lot of, somebody had taken, they painted our countertop, and now our countertop wasn't like granite or anything like that. It was definitely something still usable, but somebody decided to paint it. So I'm kind of applying this very crudely. You can apply this with a brush or something. I'm just using a rag and putting it directly on top of the sticky. This will take care of the stickiness. It'll also take care of paint. You know, I don't really care about the paint because, like I said, we're going to be redoing this. But apply this, let it soak for a few minutes. You already see it starting to work. If you can see that in the camera or not. Yeah, you could, right here in the center, you can see it bubbling up. That is the coolest thing ever. So it doesn't take very long. We'll just let it set for a few more minutes. It's been a couple minutes now. See how well this comes off. So putty knife and another rag. Let me go backwards here. Comes off like butter. Check that out. Yeah, of course you could sand it down with some heavy grit stuff, but I wasn't really into wanting to try that today. This stuff's fairly nasty, so you don't want to let it get all over you or anything like that. Off a little bit, trying to get some of this stuff cleaned off better. We're basically done. I mean, just get a wet rag and just get the excess off of there, and that's about it to get that off. So I'll just do a little more sanding and clean it up a little bit more, and we'll move on to the hinges and painting. Okay, so originally I had said I was going to actually use new hinges. The hinges I had were just a little bit newer. They're still used, but they were gold. They didn't have a lot of paint. But unfortunately, the shape of them just don't quite match really the hole that's there, and I don't want to have a lot of wasted gaps, and it just doesn't look good. So to do it right, I decided to just stay with the original square hinges, put them back on, and reuse those. So with that in mind, the top here, which is actually, this is the top of the tape of the top of the door, this one's okay, but obviously we had some issues down here at the end. So what I decided to do was cut a piece of hardwood. This is a piece of cherry I put in there, and I glued it in there. It's a little bit bigger, a little oversized, not cut perfectly, because what I'm going to do is once this is all dried and set up, I'm going to take my planer, plane it smooth, cut the edges so the contour, and we fill that hole really nice, and it'll look really great. I went ahead and drew the new spot for the hinge and I'm going to recess that down about 1/8 of an inch, which is what this is. So I have my 2 end hinge places marked. This one is the dead center of where the next middle hinge needs to be, and the reason why I'm still keeping with 3 hinges versus just 2 is because this weight of this door. There is a lot of weight. I'm actually bracing up the wall, and I'm going to put it on just a little bit more than normal because of the weight. So we're going to want to center this in, and you can tell obviously we're going to have another hole to patch, so we're going to need to patch that. We're going to need to mark this hole. We're going to go ahead and mark this one. There is a slight overlap, but we'll just mark that afterwards once we get a piece here. It's not such a big deal. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed this so far. I think this is going to have to be 2 parts, not one big video. So right now I got to let all this dry, so I'm not going to continue anything right now. I'm going to move on to a different project. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll be watching for the part 2. And I do, maybe you're noticing that there's a different pace in this video. I just recently talked to a new friend that I found, and he gave me lots of really good advice and some things that I have never really thought of in this way, or just different perspectives on what I'm doing here with YouTube, what I'm doing with my videos. And here lately I've struggled with trying to find my niche, what I think this is what I do. You watch my videos and you'll say, okay, this is what this guy does. It's you watch different YouTubers and you see, okay, well, Jimmy Dressa does this. Matthias Waddell, he's kind of this. Their thing. So I've struggled with that, and then I've had this conversation with this guy, and it really helped me out a lot, because I've realized that I don't need that. Just do what I love to do and share it with you all. And so what I love to do is take my time. I don't like to rush through things. Sometimes these projects do get a little rushed because I'm trying to get a video up for you by Friday. So the whole format of this channel is just kind of up in the air. I've scrapped what I did before, and I'm just starting afresh in a way and completely doing my own thing, doing something new, brand new. I hope you enjoy that. videos may not always be on Friday. They might be random throughout the week. They may be put up every Friday. They might not be. The project updates I might try to continue on Wednesday, particularly because that's the best day to do something like that. But the pace is going to be different. I'm not going to be rushing through something just to show you this is your final product, or to sacrifice some of the quality. So, for instance, this is real life. This is how long it takes to do certain things. As an example, what you're looking at back here, this whole miter station, I wish I had recorded it to share with you, but I didn't. And I look back and I think I really should have. But that process honestly took me about 3 or 4 weeks, and it really is not that large of a thing. It's really because of my time, my priorities, keeping my priorities straight, making sure that my priorities are listed properly, and to be honest, making a video is not the top priority. So to get some things done, sometimes I don't record it, but at the same time they take longer. So rather than rushing through videos, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do them the way I do it and how I love to make videos. I want you to share in the excitement that I have when I take my time and I feel a sense of accomplishment. Because when I rush through something, like right now, I'm looking at something over here on my shelf that I've yet to finish. It was kind of a rush to get it started, and then halfway through I lost my steam because my passion wasn't there for it. And so now I feel like I've got a little bit more of a passion to just do things the way I like to do them. Not to say I do it slow. I am a fast worker, and you can ask anybody I work with at my job. I'm a fast worker. I'm always thinking ahead, maybe 2 or 3 steps. When it comes to woodworking, I like to enjoy it because it is a way I can, escape in a way. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found this maybe reinvigorating for you if you're a YouTuber, to just do what you love to do best. I think that was some of the best advice I got, and it's such a simple, very simple advice, but I'm very thankful for that. And I hope that you'll enjoy watching part 2 if it's not already out. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out the other videos up here. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.